Folks, welcome to a Ruu'di Gemkeeper puzzle update video. Last time on the channel, I showed you the two Ruu'di Gemkeeper puzzle pieces I picked up from the most recent Flesh and Blood High Seas kit release from Alpha Investments. I had to buy two kits to get two puzzle pieces. I've since seen a couple of these show up on eBay. The goal is to get all 9 puzzle pieces that make the Gemkeeper Flesh and Blood card, which you can redeem through Alpha Investments for a cold foiled Ruu'di Gemkeeper card, which is going to be very sought after. So far, there have been only 3 Flesh and Blood sales through Alpha Investments this year. Each have offered some form of puzzle card or redemption. But these really remind me of the Black Lotus Ultra Pro puzzle quests from the mid 90s. If you ever opened up Ultra Pro sleeves for your revised or 4th edition cards in the mid 90s, you do remember pulling these Black Lotus puzzle pieces. There was a 9th puzzle piece down in the lower right hand corner that was extremely scarce. They rarely put these in the products, and if they do surface, they do trade for $50,000 to $60,000. I think there've only been 4 or 5 of those that have ever surfaced, so there's only a few complete puzzles that people can make. When you did make the puzzle at the time, you could redeem it, I think, for like $250 or an actual Black Lotus at the time, which was probably the price of an unlimited Black Lotus in 1995. They also had a Chaos Orb puzzle by Mark Tedin. I have a few pieces of the Chaos Orb puzzle that I took to Star City Games Con last month that I made a video about and had Mark sign these. The lower left-hand corner, I think number 7 on the Chaos Orb was the scarce piece, and you could turn these in for like $100 or a Chaos Orb from Unlimited. So today, just a quick recap. I did pick up these 2 cards with the Fab High Seas release. I had to buy 2 kits for $1,199. It was about $600 a kit, so the total cost to get the one puzzle piece was about $1. And then if you were an original Gemkeeper patron like I was, you could purchase an additional puzzle piece for 69 cents. So that's what I did. I paid $1.69 for these 2 puzzle pieces. I've since seen them pop up on eBay. They've sold for $95 to $154. I even saw one copy of this middle piece sell for $254 on eBay. You can check the sold listings. So when I saw this third piece pop up, I knew I had to have it. The seller originally listed it as a best offer. I threw up an offer of $69.69 and got quickly rejected. But luckily that seller put it up on an auction. I guess he may have gotten other offers on this card that were north of $100. So he decided to auction it and see what it would go for, and I'm glad that he did. So the winning bid price was $212 for this number 1 piece. I suspect, this is just my hunch here, I suspect this was the first piece offered with the Flesh and Blood The Hunted bundles that came out in January. Patrons had to buy 4 bundles for $1,567 that came with a free code redemption for one puzzle piece that was going to be announced later in the summer. So I think this was the first piece that was available. And then in February, Ruu'di offered a Flesh and Blood High Roller Arcane First Edition kit for $1,499, which came with a Gemkeeper sticker that was redeemable for a puzzle piece. And I think that might have also been this puzzle piece, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if you purchased either of those Hunted or the Arcane First Edition High Roller bundles and which puzzle piece you got. But when the Fab High Seas kit came out last month in May, I jumped on that offer to get these 2 puzzle pieces. I'm glad I did. I think the market price is probably between $150 and $200 per piece, which means if somebody completes the whole puzzle, it's probably going to be 9 pieces. It's probably going to be about $1,500 to $1,800 total cost, which I think would be the cost of the cold foil Ruu'di Gemkeeper promo. Ruu'di also mentioned you could trade in multiple copies of certain puzzle pieces to receive additional copies of the harder to find puzzle pieces, but I'm just guessing that the 9th piece is going to be the hardest piece to get on this puzzle. So I'm just trying to pick up as many puzzle pieces as I can to put myself in position to be able to trade in all 9 pieces for the cold foil version of this Gemkeeper promo. I have seen 2 copies that have been graded by PCG on eBay. The seller is asking $10,000. I don't think it's worth grading those cards because you have to submit them anyway to Ruu'di to get the cold foil. But if I were able to complete the puzzle and redeem it for a cold foil gem keeper, I would definitely get the cold foil gem keeper promo hero graded by PCG to authenticate that, and then I would add that to my collection. So thanks for subscribing and following along the adventures of set collecting. If you're a fan of Magic from the 90s, you definitely remember these Black Lotus puzzle pieces. So you might be interested in these Ruu'di Gem Keeper puzzle pieces. I think it's kind of cool nod to the nostalgic Magic the Gathering collectors who picked up these pieces when they were kids in their collections trying to sleeve their cards. So give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. We are closely approaching 1,000 subscribers. When we do that, we'll be able to offer you more content, more daily videos, more exciting updates on puzzle quests, things like this. So thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.